morning. Welcome back to my lavender pages. If you are a subscriber, if you're not, thank you for clicking on my thumbnail and checking out this video. I hope you stick around and subscribe because I would love to make more content. It is 7:30 in the morning on Wednesday, May 11th, and my kids should have left by now, but the junior high kid who's in our carpool is not feeling well, so that bought me like 45 minutes. So my friend won't be here until about 8 o'clock, which gives me a half an hour to film this video. I am drinking my chai tea mix, and this is a mix I found on Pinterest, so I will make sure to link that down below. And the only thing I change on the recipe is I use stevia instead of sugar. That's the only difference. So I am drinking my chai tea, and I had a close friend of mine ask me how I set up my calendar and my bullet journal. So I'm going to start on June. I know it's super early to be doing this, but with my pattern of how I plan and use my bullet journal, I should be okay. If I need extra pages, I'll just tip stuff in. But this is the June calendar on my Wonderland 222 weekly planner. So I use this as a reference. If you don't have this notebook, that is fine. Just pull up the calendar on your smartphone or pull up your Gmail and look up on your Google Calendar. But this will kind of give you an idea of the layout. So I need 5 weeks worth of squares. Okay. So I set up my bullet journal calendar. Let me pull May. I am a little shaky this morning. So this is my May bullet journal calendar. I do it the same as this. I have 3 days on the left, 4 days on the right. So with this, I have 3 days on the left and 4 days on the right. The only difference between these two is this one is pre-printed. So it has the previous and the next month's shadow days, I guess is the easiest way to call it. So we've got May 30 and 31, and then we have July 1, 2, and 3. When I do mine, I don't include those. As you can see, I've erased the boxes and just left the calendar by itself. So that is what I'm going to show you how I kind of set up. I'm going to do the whole thing except for the planning part, just so that you can see how I do it and kind of have a reference in case you want to duplicate it. So I'm going to use this calendar as kind of a reference, but I'm going to set it off to the side. So it's going to be over here next to my chai. Okay, so I went through the rest, this is today, the rest of my daily pages, and I've been using the Sterling ink date stickers and the date dots and just putting them right up here at the top. This is a Wonderland 222 daily notebook. This is the full size. This is the full 365 page notebook. I've already kind of got my plan set for 2023 instead of getting the full notebook, because by the time I'm done with it, it's like chunky. And as much as I love myself a chunky planner, it's not that easy to just throw in your bag. And my bag, I purposely bought my bag and it fits my notebook, but it doesn't fit like both of my notebooks when one of them gets chunky. So for 2023, I'm going to buy 3 daily notebooks in the half year. They have 192 pages on it, and I've done the math, and if I use like a traveler's notebook thin insert for my collections, I will have enough pages to do both the monthly, the weekly, and the daily that I'm used to in the half year daily notebooks, which is way too much information than you need. But just to share, the traveler's notebook inserts that I'm going to get are the Hobonichi A5 little notebooks, and they actually have perforated pages that you can tear out. Not that's what I want, but that's what I'm going to buy. In fact, I'm going to get them today and stash them in my cupboard so that I have them for 2023. Okay, so I went through and dated all of my pages, And May is going to finish right here for the 31st. I ran out of days of the week. That's okay. May is going to finish here. The 31st is page 78. And then I have my June freebie calendar from Sterling Ink and the pink vellum already cut with my tab on it. So I'm going to set these aside. I have not glued them in, or glued. I have not tipped, glued, whatever. I haven't put them in here yet. So I'm going to set these off. So usually I would insert the calendar here, leave this page blank, and then draw out my calendar on this one. So the first thing I usually do before I count out my squares is I get a white Jelly Roll pen. This is a Boxlin white Jelly Roll that I just got off Amazon. Not my favorite. I prefer the Sakara Jelly Rolls, but I could not find white anywhere. Ooh, that is so good. Anywhere last year when I went to go buy these. So I just got some off-brand off Amazon, and this is not my favorite. But I recommend the Sakara White Jelly Roll. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to white out this part right here and all the numbers using this Jelly Roll. Okay, it's not perfect. You probably have better luck with like whiteout tape. But I feel like I have more control with a pen because I don't go into the squares. Anyway, this is all white out. So now I'm going to use my pencil, my Papermate. This is just a pencil that I got at Target, like a mechanical pencil. However, the lead in it is a soft lead. It's not the HB, it's a soft lead, so it makes it super easy to erase if I need to. I really like how soft the lead is on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to count out my boxes. Now my boxes are 7 squares by 7 squares, and then I skip a square in between, which is what gives me the individual boxes. So I'm going to count out the full 5 weeks, and then I go back in and erase what I don't need. So here we go. We're going to start counting. Oh, and I use little L tick marks. You'll see. Here we go. Okay, so there's the first row. That's kind of how the base looks. I've never done this before, so be patient with me, but I'm gonna speed this up a whole lot faster, and I'm gonna zoom in. So you probably won't see much of this stuff around for a little bit. You're gonna see me move my book and put these little L tick marks. So bear with me. Heads up, here we go. Okay, you can probably tell I messed up over here. I counted 6 squares instead of 7. And you were all probably looking at it going, you're messing up. Anyway, the reason I only put 1 square right here is I checked on this calendar and Monday and Tuesday of June belong to May, if that makes sense. So I just erased my oopses and left the 1 box. It erases so clean. I love the combination of the soft lead in here. And then this is a Tombow Mono 1 eraser. I just got it off Amazon, and then I bought a whole thing of refills, and I've never run out. And I probably bought this in 2017, like forever ago, when I started bullet journaling. I love it. I highly recommend it. I'll make sure I link it down below. Okay, so with this, we need to erase the last 3 boxes because this is July 1, 2, and 3. And I'm kind of watching my clock so that I can get my kids out on time. But I promise, I'm just going to pause the video, get them out the door, and my friend Brittany's taking them to school. And so I will come back down and finish this before I go do anything else. Okay, so just to double check, make sure I got this right. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Cool. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. We got it. Okay, next step is to put the numbers down. This is my Sterling Ink subscription kit for June. I've already put it in its laminate pouch. I made it a little skinnier this month because I wanted the other piece of vellum to be exactly an A5 size. So the pouch is a little skinnier, the pocket is a little smaller, and I love it because it's super snug. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull out the date dots right here. Now, when I do my monthly planning, whenever I decide to do it, I use the circles for my work shift. So I'm going to take the numbers from the bottom and go up so that I can trim this later and use it for my daily pages.
Sorry, Mom.
What's that?
Interrupt your YouTube video, but our school timer went off.
Okay. I'm going to pause right here and get the kids out to school. Be right back. Okay, that ended up working fairly well. I'm out of breath. Oh my goodness. The bird wanted to follow me downstairs because there's nobody else home. She was so loud last time. But yeah, she's up in her area, her playpen area. Okay, so as I was saying, I use these dots to kind of mark my week, my work schedule. So I'm going to use the dots from the bottom so that I can trim this off so that it's smaller. I can put it in the little envelope and use it on my daily pages. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the numbers down. Since these boxes are 7 across, I put the dot in box 4 so that it ends up right in the middle. Ready? Here we go. Okay, so we've used the bottom date dots. Notice there's a 31 that's extra. I probably won't use it, just to be quite honest. I just probably won't use it. But it makes sense that there's 31. It just makes it easier for Catherine. And so, no big deal, right? Here's all of our date dots. I love these colors. Look how vivid they are. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so now we get out the TheCoffeeMonsterzCo metal ruler. Mine is in rose gold. And I use the 05, there we go, 05 Tombow mono drawing pen to draw my boxes. So the way I do this is I just go through and use my little pencil marks and draw out all the boxes, but I gap it where the date dots are. That's why I put the date dots down first. Otherwise, I just get going on my lines and I would just draw straight lines. And then I'd have a line through that box right there, and that just does not look fabulous. So here's April, May, and then this is eventually June will look the same. So here we go. We're going to draw the boxes. I turn it sideways. And then I start on the left-hand side and go to the right, because if I go the other way, if I go the other way, I end up smearing my lines. So I'm careful at which direction I go. Usually I go from left to right and top to bottom, but we'll see how this goes. So here we go. Sorry, I go right to left. Oh my gosh, it's morning. I'm not a morning person. Okay, on to the lines. Okay, so this is pretty much the base setup. I'm going to get my TWSBI Eco in a medium nib with Diamine Solstice in it and write in the days of the week here in a minute. But this is how I do my boxes. Now, I can see little bits of pencil. I know you guys probably can't, but I can. So before I do the full planning, I will go through and erase the pencil marks, but I'm going to let the ink sit because this is Tombow River paper, and as quickly as the Tombow mono drawing pens dry, they still have issues if you don't let them dry for a while. So I'm actually not even going to erase my pencil marks until I do my actual plan with me. So just a heads up on that. While I'm writing the days of the week, I'm going to kind of chat for a minute. A lot of people ask me when I find the time to do this. I work for an airline. I work 4 days a week. I'm part-time. But I take a lot of phone calls. And I am currently in a position where the phone calls I take from actual customers that are calling in, they are usually Nesday. They're usually very angry, believe it or not. We call them escalated. I take a lot of escalated calls, and people are usually pretty angry by the time they get to me. You have to go through 4 people to get to me. And our hold times right now, because we are shorthanded, is usually 45 minutes to an hour per person. So by the time they get to me, they've already been on the phone for like 3 hours. So I don't take these calls very often. But when I do, they're usually pretty mad. And one way to help somebody who's really mad calm down is to let them rant. And that is what I end up doing. Now, I don't know about you, but a lot of times when somebody's really mad and they want to rant, they don't use the nicest language. Especially when you can't see the person on the other end. We've noticed this a lot on social media. If they don't know who they're talking to, or they can't see you face to face, it's a lot easier to say things you would not say in person. So I have worked for this airline for 8.5 years. I've probably hung up on somebody whose language got super, super, super bad and who started calling me names maybe 4 or 5 times, tops. I usually just let them go. Let them say what they want to say, and then I have my conversation with them and try and help them the best I can. While they're ranting and raving and using bad language, that is when I draw these layouts. I call it my coloring book at work. My grown-up coloring book, but this is kind of a mindless thing to do, except for the counting of the boxes, which when I'm doing that while somebody's ranting and raving, I really mess up a lot because I am trying to listen to what they're saying, at least the meat and the most important part of what they're saying. The language and the ranting and raving and the complaining, I pay attention to, but I only pull out the key points that I need to fix. So while they're ranting and raving, that is when I draw my layouts. That is when I draw my numbers for like my weather tracker right here. So I usually do this while I'm working, and I usually do it when somebody's yelling at me, believe it or not, because it keeps me calm and I don't say things that I really shouldn't back to the person. So that is when I do these layouts. I don't do them when I'm watching TV. I don't do them in the car when I'm waiting to pick up my kids from school. I do them to keep myself calm when somebody's ranting and raving at me. Okay? So that is when I do this layout. If you are not in a position like mine where you have somebody yelling at you and you need to keep yourself calm, so you draw boxes, this is super easy to do on a Sunday afternoon or a day off when you're just sitting in front of the TV and you want to keep your hands busy. This video, as of right now, is 44 minutes. Okay, but I've been talking. I can usually hash out this layout within 20 minutes, about half the time of this video. And it's something that I do to keep me calm. A lot of people are like, well, just use the weekly notebook. You've got a calendar in there. Why do you have to keep drawing out a calendar? I love the bullet journal method because I can draw this out. Yes, I love my weekly planner that I have from Wonderland. Will I buy it next year? No. Why? Because I want to draw out my numbers. It helps me relieve stress. It's my calming thing. It's my fidget spinner. I don't know what else to call it. So next year I will be getting blank notebooks. I will be drawing out my weeklies. I will be drawing out my monthlies. I'm crazy, I guess. I don't know. But it's very calming and soothing to me, and it helps me relieve stress. Plus, I can do it when somebody's yelling at me. So that's when I set this up. So this part is all ready for June. It's going to hang out here with my vellum until I do my plan with me. Probably, let's see, what's today? The 11th? Probably in 2 weeks. I'll be doing my plan with me. Probably, I usually do it the last full week of the month, which is right here. So here's today. I probably won't do it next week, but I'll probably do it the week after, if that makes sense. My son, my kindergartner, is home this whole week, so I'll have plenty of time throughout the day to do my June plan with me. So there you go. That is how I set up my monthly. If you have any questions, if you have questions about how to count out your boxes, if you have questions about the tools that I use, if you have questions about anything, please comment down below. I do check my YouTube regularly, and I try to answer those questions as quickly as possible. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you end up doing this layout or trying something similar to it, please tag me at My Lavender Pages. I'd love to see what you do. My Instagram link is also down in the links below, where I have linked all my tools. And I hope everybody is having a fantastic May, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye!